Ask a question to you guys. Has anyone here been in a fight? Raise your hand. Like an actual, like, bare fist brawl. Kind of expected a lot of violent people to be at the school. That makes a lot of sense. Well, this is kind of a speech about how I got into mixed martial arts and kind of give you guys a history of it from my point of view. Now, I'm gonna start off with a Ranger Challenge, and subtitle for that is Never Give Up. Since high school, I was of course a Rati Nati. Explains my demeanor and all. So in Rati Nati, I was in this team called Raiders. Raiders was a kind of like the top team. It was a very A-type personalities, bunch of guys getting together and girls running around, doing a lot of physical activity and just kind of having a family and doing a lot of obstacles and whatnot. So after that, I decided I kind of want to continue this, you know? I want to build upon that. So I found out there's a thing that's just like that called Ranger Challenge. It's just like that, kind of like the college version of it. So I joined and didn't do well my first 2 years. Freshman year, I didn't make the team. Sophomore year, I made alternate, but that's the same thing that happened in high school. Didn't make the team freshman year, made alternates, and in junior and senior year, I rocked the whole thing. So I was like, all right, junior year, I'm going to kill it. End of sophomore year, I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm pretty sure y'all could guess. The instructor, or the main guy, captain, captain told me, hey, I know you've been doing this whole time. You're a really great guy, and we could really use you. But I know you don't have interest in commissioning, and you're going to have to commission for you to be in this team junior year. And for you guys to understand, this was my dream. This is like my dream other than my career, so I was utterly crushed because I worked so hard this whole time to get to this point, and literally someone just takes my goal and just rips it away from my hands. Something that I worked hard for. It wasn't really my fault. Kind of just made a decision later on, and he decided to rip it away. So, but he did it respectfully, so I had to be respectful back to him and say, I understand, sir. So that's kind of when I add on to that. I was kind of lost in a way. Didn't really have a purpose because I had a career, but I didn't have anything leading towards that. So it took me a minute to really figure out, what am I going to do with my life? What should I do? What's going to motivate me day by day to be better physically and mentally? So I kind of been in this whole little warped personality, kind of upset all the time. And then I found something. I noticed I'd be online looking up UFC fights, seeing all these guys killing each other and whatnot. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I have some background. I could do that. So that's what I found. Decided to practice in mixed martial arts. And just so you know, it's not just something random that I decide, oh, I'm a big, tough black guy. I'm going to beat up everybody in the ring. I actually have some background into it. When I was a kid, I did Taekwondo. I got up to green belt. I also did judo simultaneously, got up to yellow belt in that. I competed in varsity wrestling. I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I have background in boxing as well. And from there, I'm going to allow myself to say that I was neither the best in any of these sports, but I do have background in it. So it led into me competing or trying to compete in mixed martial arts. Next thing is TKD, which is Taekwondo. When I started Taekwondo, I was a really chubby kid. So having something active, having an awesome mentor, which is this guy named Jim So Lee. His name was, in translation, Korean, thunderous water. So I had Jim So Lee training me every day. He was this, like you said, 60-year-old guy who could just do anything. We had a demonstration one time, and he put 5 boards together and did a side kick through them. But the problem was, what the amazing part was, he didn't do it through it. The first block was unbroken. The 2 in the middle were broken, and the last one wasn't broken. He found a way to distribute his power enough so he wouldn't break through all of them, but still break a couple of them in the middle. I thought that was pretty awesome. And a couple of things I learned in Taekwondo is that it's a very traditional form. They have these awesome belt forms where you get in stance, do a couple of blocks, punches, and kicks. I highly respected that because everything has a set form. Everything has a set way in performance, and little details matter in that. So it really gave me respect in this martial art and almost every martial art, because I realized it takes a lot of work and practice to get good in these things. So that goes into my thing, respect and disrespect. I've met a lot of people in my, not really career, but in my practice of mixed martial arts. You have most people that really like the sport, and you have some people that just want to get in there and just fight people and just hurt people. I don't respect that at all. If you're getting there just to fight, go to a bar, get drunk and have a couple of bar brawls. I took that as disrespect to me and disrespect to other people, because if you're going there to fight, you don't respect the art form. You're just kind of learning how to fight people, and what's the point in that? You should learn how to defend yourself and respect the art. Going next, wrestling. This is the embarrassing part of the story, so Millie's gonna like this part. When I went into wrestling, of course, it was right after Taekwondo, so I was still extremely chubby. So the way how weight classes work is that what you're put at your weight, you wrestle other people in your weight, of course, but that depends on fat distribution. I had a lot of fat percentage. I was wrestling guys that didn't have a lot of fat percentage. So I was going against guys like really swole, dieseled guys, like guys that look like Terry Crews or just really swole guys. And then I'd wrestle them and they would just take me out automatically. I would usually be done within the first round, knocked out. Not knocked out, but done. They would pin me and I would just be so like hurt, I'd just lay there. So you see this like big brown spot just like laying there in the middle of the mat. Just like, why? Why, God? I've been nice lately. And then that's something I had to learn how to deal with. Within a year, I got exceptionally good to the point where I made varsity team. So I want to add to that, just don't give up, keep trying. Another thing is I realized when I was wrestling somebody, I couldn't take the shot. A shot is a move that you go in to get to the leg to get a takedown. I just couldn't do it. I was very good defensively though. So I realized I learned something about myself. I'm not good at making the first move. But if you make a move on me or you attack me, I will make you regret that later. That's one thing I learned. And another thing you've got to add to that is that you got to learn how to be aggressive and make the first move and take control. Want to move into crazy coaches. You'll meet some of the most interesting coaches when you join some of these gyms. I had this coach named Coach Chaplin. He was this New Yorker Navy boxer, right? 50 years old, and he actually was a certified chaplain and boxing coach. But the thing is, he'd be really rough on a lot of kids, like little kids. Like this little kid named Tyrone, he's just yelling at him because he wasn't like disciplined, I guess. But he was a kid. He'd be like, "Hey, Tyrone, what are you doing?" And I'm like, one day I was like, "Coach, you are way too hard on these kids. You are way too hard on these kids. They're young." I actually told him this, and then he understood. And then I realized, like, wow, like I'm 19, and I just kind of taught him a lesson. So I want to add to that. You could always teach someone a lesson. Don't be afraid just because they're older or in a different position. You could always teach a lesson. Another thing, I had this coach named Coach Sam. He taught me a lot. He was a really cool guy, had a high-pitched voice, but he was an amazing fighter. One day I was hitting the bag, and then he saw I was doing something wrong. So I was hitting the bag, throwing hooks and all, keep throwing hooks, and he said, "Hey, Joseph, come here, I'm gonna show you something cool." I'm like, "All right, awesome, MMA coach is gonna show me something cool." So I come up to him, I was like, "What's going on, coach?" And he's like, "Put your hands up and throw that move again." And I was like, "All right." And I threw it, and then he was kind of, so he wanted me to hit him. I'm like, "All right." So I threw it, and he was like, "Bam!" I'm like, I had an out-of-body experience. I was like, boy, did this just happen? I can't be too upset because he will beat my ass, so I'm not going to do much. So I come back to my body, I'm like, kind of shaky, hits me hard, and I'm like, and he tells me, that's why you always keep your hand up. Always keep your hand up in the fight, because you don't know when the next person's going to attack. So you always pay attention. Always keep your guard up. Last thing I want to add is family. In the mixed martial arts community, it's honestly a lot of nice people. You think all these guys come in tough, trying to kill people? No, a lot of them are really nice. And it's a good source, a good place to have good foundations and build a family values. Really nice people that will teach you the right things in life. I want to add to that. Find a group where people are positive, people uplift you. And understand who will add to your life and who will take it away and who will take from your life. Put yourself in the right group of people. And always keep your guard up, or else you end up deaf kind of like me. That's it. Thank you.